The Fine 348C. It's a terrible name for a microphone, but these microphones actually have some awesome features for YouTube or even bigger video productions. We're going to go ahead and talk about them today. So right now, you're hearing me on the inbuilt microphone of the Fine 348C. I think that this microphone setup is a good microphone setup for YouTubers or possibly even aspiring filmmakers. Let's talk about why that is today. We're going to start by covering some of the specs of the Fine 348C. They have a claimed 100 meters visual line of sight. They have a claimed 7 to 8 hours of battery life between the transmitter and the receiver combined. They allow you to go ahead and attach your own lav mic via a 3.5mm input jack on the transmitter. And in my opinion, the standout flagship feature of this, you probably shouldn't drop your tripod. The standout feature of this microphone system is that it allows you to put up to a 24 gigabyte micro SD card in the transmitter and go ahead and record internally in case you lose connection. I don't know if I would want to be eating food out of what is essentially a glorified landfill, but hey, if they want to, it's their choice. So now you're actually hearing me from the built-in recorder on the Fine 348C transmitter. One of the best parts of this mic setup is that you can go ahead and get any speed micro SD card up to 24 gigabytes and essentially get 8, 10, 12 hours of recording time on that micro SD card, and then you don't have to worry about losing reception. I think that this is an absolutely game-changing feature on these, whereas companies like DJI, you have up to 8 gigabytes. This allows you to have 3 times that amount of storage. Now, this wireless mic setup has a claimed 100 meters of range direct visual line of sight. We're gonna go ahead and test that a bit right now while I tell you about the sponsor for today's video, Surfshark VPN. Now, here in Vietnam, the internet, it's not the freest of places. And if I want to access something like BBC News, I can't access it without Surfshark VPN. If I want to watch Netflix from a specific country and I don't have access to it here in Vietnam, Surfshark VPN is the answer. Now, the reason specifically why I decided to pay for Surfshark VPN after my affiliate 3-month free trial with them ended is because I had unlimited username and passwords. What that means is that I was able to go ahead and get all of my devices, my wife's devices, and my wife's family devices onto a VPN for basically $2 a month. Now, I don't always use Surfshark VPN, but a lot of if I'm having issues with Zoom, doing online teaching, or the servers in Vietnam are extremely crowded for a specific website, Surfshark VPN has saved my butt many times, allowing me to go ahead and VPN into another country and get to my class digitally on time. For you guys, I have a 3-month free trial of Surfshark VPN. If you like it, buy it. If you don't like it, it's 3 months free. Now, at this point, I'm about 50, 60 meters away from the camera, direct line of sight, and I'm gonna go ahead and turn around now and continue walking, and let me know in the comments if I have mic cutouts. In my experience with this, I have had relatively decent performance if I'm out in the countryside, but here in a more urban environment, that backup recording is a lifesaver. Now I have my Rode Lav plugged into the 3.5mm mic jack on the LensGo 348C, and I want to tell you about another feature, which is the dual transmitter, one receiver option. Now, this allows you to go ahead and separate your 2 different transmitters into left and right channel so that you can go ahead and have separate audio tracks to split, mix, and master in post. You can also go ahead and choose to have these tracks combined when being sent, or you can go ahead and have them combined when being sent to your camera and then record them separately as tracks on the built-in receiver. This gives you a lot of flexibility to kind of do what you want for your specific needs, your specific editing workflow. I've been using these on a documentary that I'm working on here in Vietnam, and my performance with them has been good. I think that overall my experience with these is pretty average for what like a YouTuber, small-time indie filmmaker can expect. Range-wise, I wouldn't count on these for non-line of sight for more than 20 meters, let's say. But the fact that we have the built-in micro SD card slot allows us to have all kinds of options. And sometimes can you guys hear that bird? Bird! Okay, he's quiet now. Quieter. And the option to go ahead and just use the transmitters as a mobile field recorder is great. It definitely adds a lot of value being able to use those independent of the transmitter. I actually use them occasionally when filming on my cell phone, and I can sync the tracks in post. Now, all of the transmitters and the receiver use a USB-C port for charging, but LensGo includes a great carrying case that allows you to charge all of that and hold some cables and charge it via one USB-C cable. This is great for people that have a production that they're working on, so that you can go ahead and just streamline your charging, your kind of power setup. And it's something that I definitely enjoy when I'm doing run and gun stuff and I'm working with one or two other people and I have to worry about all of my batteries being charged. Now let's talk about one of the things that I don't like, which is this magnetic clip. Now this magnetic clip is a love and hate. I love it because I can go ahead and magnetize the mic pack onto my shirt for doing home YouTube videos, and it stays on pretty well. What I dislike about it is that it's not the most secure. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. Either you have something that's a little bit more convenient and unbreakable but less secure, or you have a traditional clip that can be broken off and wears out. Whether or not you like the design is more of a personal preference thing. Now, another feature that I absolutely love about this LensGo mic setup is the fact that the transmitters link up to the receiver absolutely seamlessly. There's no kind of band switching or trying to find a clear channel. That's good and bad because you can encounter interference. On the other hand, it's great for people that just want to kind of set up the camera, go and shoot, and want as minimal downtime as possible. Something that I dislike a lot actually about this setup is that I haven't found a way, I've read the manual, I've looked online, I haven't found a way to change the mic gain for each of the individual transmitter packs. So you're able to go ahead and change the gain on the receiver only, and there's no way to adjust the gain for the internal recording of the receiver. Now you're hearing me on the internal recording of the transmitter with my lav mic, and it's important to note that you have a nice bright red tally light when the transmitter is recording internally. Now my other experience with wireless transmitters was the Comica Boom XU, or the Comica Boom XU2. It's Comica's slightly older, more professional mic, wireless mic setup. And I've kind of liked these more. Range for these hasn't been as good as the Comicas, but the Comicas didn't have a way to internally record. Now with the Comicas, there is a way to internally record on their new Comica Boom XD Pro, and those have 8 gigabytes of built-in storage, but the transmitters themselves are a little bit bigger. Another pain point for me personally with these is that there is no way to monitor them with headphones on the receiver. This is something that some mic packs have built in, some mic packs don't have this feature. I would like to be able to go ahead and monitor audio from the receiver, because cameras such as the Sony a6400, Sony a6100 don't have the ability to have a headphone jack to monitor your audio. That is limited to a mic jack only, and if you want to be able to monitor yourself with these headphones, you would be out of luck. But I think that if you have a camera like that, you may or may not be looking for a wireless mic setup. And if you're cross-shopping these with other brands like DJI, like Komica, like Sennheiser, it's hard for me to suggest them, simply because the price point that these are available at is extremely close to the price point of something like the DJI wireless mic system, of something like the Komica system. I think that at the MSRP for this, with a 3-piece setup, 2 transmitters, 1 receiver, it comes in at right around the $320 mark, which is an okay deal, but compared to what we have from more established brands, it would be hard for me to recommend this wireless mic setup if you have those other options available for $10 more, $20 more. On the other hand, if you could find these for a more attractive price point, where the price difference is more like $75 to $80 price difference for the LensGo 348C versus the DJI mic setup versus the Komica setup, then I would go ahead and definitely recommend them, because I don't think that the price difference really justifies the fact that you're stuck with built-in storage like a system on the DJI or the Komica, whereas these, you can triple your storage for next to nothing. Okay, sorry for being a long ranty video. I just wanted to get this out of the way, put as much of this stuff down as possible for you guys. And until next time, it's been Mitchell. Peace.